Labour's top donor, Lord Waheed Alli, a millionaire media tycoon and close ally of Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has been found in breach of the House of Lords Code of Conduct, not once, but 4 times. This recent development raises questions about Labour's leadership, donor transparency and political ethics. Today we're diving into the details of the rule violations, the close ties between Lord Ali and Keir Starmer, and reactions from the public on both sides of this controversy. Let's get into it. Here's what we'll be unpacking in this video. The code violations, a breakdown of the specific rules Lord Ali broke, the House of Lords Standards Commissioner's response, and why this situation could be especially embarrassing for Labour's leadership. Ali's connection to Labour and Keir Starmer, a look at his long-standing political donations and personal ties with Prime Minister Starmer. Public reactions and opinions, how the UK public is reacting to this story, from criticism of Labour's donor ties to sympathy for Lord Ali. Potential fallout for Labour, the ways this scandal could impact Labour's public image and future relationships with high-profile donors. If you're interested in more updates on major political controversies and the latest from Westminster, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Lord Waheed Alli, a millionaire media mogul and a major donor to the Labour Party, was recently found to have breached the House of Lords Code of Conduct on 4 occasions. Though the breaches are considered individually minor, the House of Lords Standards Commissioner has recommended that Lord Ali make a formal apology in the House. This public apology, while a minor sanction, adds a level of visibility that could be uncomfortable for Prime Minister Keir Starmer, given Lord Ali's long-standing financial support and close personal ties to Labour's leadership. Lord Ali's formal apology may seem minor on paper, but it brings public attention to Labour's relationship with its wealthiest backers, a relationship that's now fueling intense debate. Lord Ali's breaches relate to failing to disclose certain business interests within the specified parliamentary timeframe. Peers are required to keep their interests registered and to update any changes within 1 month. While Lord Ali had disclosed some of his roles, including his trusteeship at the Charlie Parsons Foundation, he omitted other relevant positions, such as his role as an unpaid director at the same foundation. Additionally, he prematurely removed information relating to Silvergate BP Bidco Limited and delayed registering his position as an unremunerated director at MAC BVI Limited. While these breaches appear small individually, the cumulative effect led the House of Lords Standards Commissioner to recommend an official apology. According to the Commissioner's report, while I consider each individual breach of the code to be minor, I have found there to be 4 breaches in total, and have therefore recommended that Lord Ali write a letter of apology to the chair of the Conduct Committee, Baroness Manningham-Buller. The report suggests that while no serious penalty is warranted, these repeated oversights create a pattern that warrants public accountability. For Prime Minister Starmer, these breaches bring additional scrutiny to his close association with a high-profile donor, raising broader questions about transparency and oversight within the Labour Party. Lord Ali's contributions to Labour go beyond financial support. He's a long-time supporter and political insider who has donated millions over the years, helping fund Labour's campaigns and building personal ties with senior Labour figures. In the most recent general election, Lord Ali provided a significant £20,000 donation directly to Keir Starmer, which was used to fund temporary accommodation for Starmer's family. According to Starmer, this arrangement allowed his son to study for his GCSEs away from media interference, as the Starmer family's primary residence was surrounded by journalists during the campaign. Critics argue that these close ties between Labour's leadership and wealthy donors like Ali can create a perception of undue influence, even if these relationships don't breach official rules. With public confidence in political transparency being a sensitive issue for Labour, questions surrounding this donation arrangement have prompted fresh concerns about the influence top donors might have behind closed doors. The revelation of Lord Ali's breaches has drawn strong reactions from the UK public, with responses reflecting contrasting views on political donations and influence. Many in the public have voiced criticism, suggesting that Labour's close ties to affluent donors undermine the party's commitment to transparency and accountability. Some argue that Labour's association with donors who fail to comply fully with reporting standards calls into question the party's integrity. A social media user commented, "Labour claims to be the party for the people, but stories like this show they're just as influenced by big money as any other party." For these critics, the story reflects a larger issue within Labour, as the party positions itself as a voice for the working class while accepting support from wealthy figures. Others have expressed frustration with Labour's response, saying that a mere apology isn't enough to address the problem. A tweet from one critic read, "If Labour wants to earn the public's trust, it needs to hold its biggest backers to higher standards. An apology letter just doesn't cut it." This sentiment is echoed by those who feel that Labour should be willing to impose stricter standards on donors like Ali to set itself apart from other political parties. However, Labour supporters argue that these breaches are being exaggerated to undermine the party. For them, the sanctions are largely symbolic, and they contend that minor disclosure mistakes happen across the political spectrum. A Labour supporter commented, "These breaches are minor and are being weaponized to make Labour look bad. Ali has apologised, and that should be enough." Many also sympathise with Starmer's explanation that Lord Ali's donation was a practical arrangement during a difficult campaign period. One post defended the arrangement, saying, "People need to remember the intense scrutiny on Starmer during the election. Using Ali's flat helped the Starmer family keep a low profile. Let's not overthink a gesture between friends." The controversy surrounding Lord Ali's code breaches could affect Labour's public image, particularly as the party seeks to distinguish itself from the image of political privilege often associated with high-level donors. For critics, this situation confirms suspicions that Labour is not as transparent as it claims to be, weakening its party of the people brand. One critic said, "Labour talks a lot about transparency, but it looks like they have no problem taking help from wealthy friends when it suits them." On the other side, Labour loyalists view the story as part of a larger narrative, designed to attack the party and detract from its recent gains in the polls. As one supporter said, "This is just a distraction. Labour is doing well, and stories like this are being used to shift attention away from real issues." With one of Labour's most significant donors in the spotlight, the party may now face pressure to revise its donor policies to ensure full transparency. Some within the party are already calling for a review of donor relationships, particularly when it comes to influential figures who donate significant sums. Moving forward, Labour might need to introduce stricter measures around donor transparency to avoid similar controversies. One Labour insider commented, "To maintain public trust, we need to make sure everyone, from members to donors, meets the highest ethical standards." This issue has highlighted the need for greater transparency, and it's something Labour should take seriously. On the other hand, others within the party argue that Lord Ali's breaches are not representative of Labour's overall policies or values. For them, Ali's willingness to make a public apology demonstrates Labour's commitment to accountability, even when the missteps involve high-profile figures. To summarise, the controversy surrounding Lord Ali's code breaches highlights both the vulnerabilities and the complexities of Labour's donor relationships. While the breaches themselves may seem minor, they raise important questions about transparency and financial ethics within the party. With the public divided, Labour's response could have lasting implications as it seeks to position itself as an accountable, transparent party. What level of transparency should political parties uphold with their top donors? When will we see if this controversy impacts Labour's public support in the upcoming elections? Who do you think benefits most from this scandal, the critics or Labour's supporters? Thank you for watching. For more political controversies and UK news, don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates. Let us know your thoughts below.